He's an American Pitbull. He's around 13, 14 years old. From the very early stages, he just started weirdly glitching his leg. He would just glitch as he walking. Mm-hmm. The weird part about it, when I showed him in a ball or he was excited about something, he would go back to normal. He would run, he would do everything. As soon as I take the ball away, he goes back to very slow walking and that kind of thing.
Just pull it down a little bit. Okay, there it is. He's licking and yawning, which is really nice. I just made a new online course called How to Massage Your Own Dog. So this is Danielle, the owner, and here, wave over there.
Hello.
And Elva?
That's my fiance.
Fiance Elva?
Yeah.
Elva. And this is Diesel, the dog. And Diesel, what type of breed, age, what do you know about Diesel?
He's an American Pitbull. He's around 13, 14 years old.
Okay. And how long have you had him? What's the story of when you got him? Did you get him at a rescue? Did you get him at a breeder? What'd you do?
I got him as a rescue from my sister's boyfriend at the time.
Yeah.
So he was a gift, but he was rescued from a fighter family. So his mother was a fighter dog.
Oh wow. Okay. And did you get him in the Northeast or a different state of the? What location?
From New York, and he came away with an anxiety. So he always kind of was a little shook. He was always skinny, so he never really gained weight.
And he's been skinny his whole life.
Right? Yes.
Yeah. And you've been his owner since he's one.
Since he's one, maybe 2 years old.
Yeah.
He was already like an adult dog,
right?
But he was very energetic.
And no one knew the exact age.
No.
Did he have pretty good health for most of his life?
He had a heart murmur, but I've never really considered that I was letting him run because he told me he had to be on medication. I never really did that, but because I feel really cruel to him to just enjoy his life. Yeah, so other than heart murmur, no issues. And even then, that wasn't apparent through his day-to-day life.
And when did he get this rear end lameness? Because I don't know if you were able to see when he was walking a little bit, he was very interested in the ball we had out, but his back leg, really the both legs aren't great, but the back right is very lame, and then the back left is not fantastic either. Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Exactly.
And how long has that been going on?
I think it's around 2.5, 3 months. From the very early stages, he just started weirdly glitching his leg. He would just glitch as he walking. Mm-hmm. And then it got a little more progressively worse. But the weird part about it, when I showed him in a ball or he was excited about something, he would go back to normal. He would run, he would do everything. As soon as I take the ball away, he goes back to very slow walking and that kind of thing.
And do you think he might have fell or any idea what might have happened?
I guess suddenly with age, I guess his paws got really dry and would have a new floor, new stairs. So we believe that when we're not home, he might have slipped off the stairs, and he did it already twice after the fact. Okay. Then I put some mats on the stairs. I got him socks so that he doesn't.
The socks with the grips.
Exactly. Yeah. Do they help? They help. They also help from not damaging his feet when we walk him.
Okay. Now, do you think he'll let me work on him? Is he the type that bites?
He doesn't bite, but he likes, if you push him this way, he'll push against you. You know, like that's his thing.
He's stubborn.
He's a little stubborn.
Okay, that's okay.
But he's playful. I mean,
I'm going to have you help me handle him when we get started. But one of the things I wanted people to see is that he's got some proprioception issues. And what that means is with a quadruped, four-legged, right? When you put their knuckles down, they should correct it. If you take a horse and put their feet down like this, you put their hoof upside down, they know enough, their brain-body connection will correct it. Sometimes it is normal for a horse to not have as quick a correction in the front end, but the back end, they should definitely correct it. Now, another thing you could test is crossing pattern. So you take one leg and bring it to the other side, and they should instantly want to bring it back because they're fighting with gravity when they're on all fours. So you knuckle them down or cross their legs, they should want to correct it. Hi, how are you? Can I work on you today? Okay, I was talking about you. I was talking about your knuckles. All right, so that's nice. Thank you for saying hello. All right, so we'll get started. I think he wants to get started. His name is Diesel, but let's see if we can see that. So I'm going to have you help me lift him, and you're going to do a lot of the heavy work. Is that okay?
Of course, yeah.
And I want everybody to see how he doesn't know when his knuckles are down on the back. So if I do this to this foot, and you can help hold his belly, look, he's not correcting that. If you don't believe me, do it to your dog at home. Look, that's been 5 seconds, 10 seconds. He still hasn't corrected it. They should correct it within a half a second. Let's try this side. You're going to lift enough on the belly that he doesn't have to support himself so much. Now this side's a little better, but he's still not correcting it. So there, he finally corrected it. That's a long delay. Now, the left one has a little bit of response. It took 30 seconds or 20 seconds. This one, I could leave here and come back tomorrow and it'll still be like that. Yes or no?
That's correct.
Yeah.
It's not
with whatever's going on. Now watch, you're going to see he won't even let me touch his foot. So look at this. Now watch if I cross it over, he fixes it. I cross it over, and he fixes it. So he doesn't have this issue in the front end, and I can't even put him in the knuckle down position because he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's uncomfortable, and I'm fighting gravity all the time, and why would I do that? The back end, he has no clue because there's an interruption of the proprioception, the neural response from brain down to the extremities. He's not getting it. So it can happen from a tumor, it can happen from a spinal lesion, it can happen from a damaged disc, pinched nerves, herniated discs, things like that. It can happen from diseases, from viral issues. But because of his age and because of what you've observed with slipping and falling at times, and also what I'm able to do, I'm not able to treat a viral issue. I'm going to look for more of what's called vertebral subluxation or a misalignment or a spinal or disc issue. That might be something I can help, okay? And I'm just going to do a good job. That's all I know how to do. And I'm going to do a good job with what I'm trained in, which is looking for areas of misalignments, pinched nerves. And I know that's more of a, like the common vernacular of how to say it, but this is anywhere where there's nerve impulse interruption. And chiropractors like to call that vertebral subluxation, and we're going to find it and hopefully ease it up, improve it, correct it the best I can. So I might have you, and you can sit, so like keep coming closer, so you don't tire your back out, and you're going to just give me a little bit of a sling with your hand, just enough that he doesn't collapse. And I'm going to start at the atlas, because the atlas sometimes helps the back end. When there's torque on the dura mater of the sheathing on the spine, there's also dura on the brain too, but is it okay if I start working with you, Diesel? What do you think of that? All right, here we go. So here's the atlas up here, and I'm going to start on the right atlas and just pull it down a little bit. Okay, there it is. He's licking and yawning, which is really nice. And that's a parasympathetic response to stress or stress relief. Now here, you can feel this probably right here. There's a muscle knot here. You feel that little tight spot? You probably don't touch this as often as I do. But that's the next one I'm going to do. Is it's C5 on the right. So I laterally flex to, if he lets me, a little bit this way, babe. A little more. Okay. Good. He does a little licking and chewing just like a horse. I'm going to come down the back and I'm keep feeling all these bones. I'm supporting myself with, so I push against something. It's called stabilization. And this is not the problem area. The problem area is going to be from here down. But I don't want to miss anything. There, a clip. Did you hear that clip? A little pop. So now we're in the area. So this is where the thoracic end. So there's 7 bones on the neck and 13 in the thoracic area, and then 7 lumbars for dogs and cats. Horses have 6.
He just peed.
He just peed? Okay, that's all right. My hand's right on his bladder. Now. I think it's coming more from the spine than the leg. I'm going to switch because he's older, so I want to do some percussive adjusting too. Here, you can feel what this feels like. I'm going to hold the tail and traction it a little bit. So I don't yank the tail, but I give some traction, which just spreads some of the, well, I'm at the top first coccygeal segment, which is where the sacrum meets the coccyx. And I'm just giving a nice hold. He's letting me work. He did pee a little bit. I mean, he's an older dog. That's normal. I'm not worried about that. I recently worked on this dog that pooped while I was working on it. The only problem with that is you have to clean it up right away, because it gets on you. And we posted that video. I don't know if you saw that one.
I saw.
We even in the title it goes, "The dog poops on Dr. Willen" or something. I didn't make the title. My social media manager, Lisa, wrote it. She was clever. So now this is another adjusting instrument. I sometimes with the older dogs like the adjusting instruments because they're light. Do you feel this? Here.
I have one of these.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. So the reason that's good is because it takes the human thrust of my hand might be a little much for him. That's okay. The light on the camera just went out, but we're shooting on an iPhone today, and the iPhones adjust well with lighting changes. So I'm in these lumbars now. I'm trying to get where the nerve roots are coming out between the different vertebral segments and adjusting them one at a time. Now I'm coming right to the spinous, and these are. Let's do the hip next. I'm going to bring this leg back. So you're going to still have to hold the belly for me. If you can. I'm making you work hard, sorry.
That's good.
I'm going to hold that leg up. I'm going to reach in and just feel this here. Maybe if you can you carry the camera around this way and shoot down this way if you can, so you can see where I am now. So now here I am. Here's the tail. Here's the sits bone, is what your yoga teacher would call it, which is really the ischial tuberosity, and it's the base of the pelvis, the little knobby spot. The tuberous is like a roundness, and then I'm going to come in near it and search for the sacrotuberous ligament, and here I am now. So here's the anus right under there. I'm not on the anus, I'm near it, and I'm going to come into the sacrotuberous ligament and push into here. There you go, and that's a good release. So I'm up in the ligament now, and he feels that one. Sorry about that, baby. Okay. And now I'm gonna do a little bit with abduction and adduction, see what the hip wants to tell me. And working this hip, see if he'll let me bend it. He's a little guarded, he doesn't like that motion. Okay. Circulating putting the hip into circular motion. You're helping me so much, I can't believe it. Thank you, because you're holding him to let me work.
Oh,
if he just falls to the ground, I can still work, but hard for me to find all the landmarks. I'm going to hold this with my foot for a second. And here's up in the sacral tuberous ligament, and then a little bit more in here now. I don't know if you could see, but I put his foot on my foot to keep his leg cocked and bent a little bit. I think I'm going to switch tips because this is a little wide, and I wanted to hit the the mammillary process. So I'm switching to a smaller applicator. I don't want to be right on the spinous right now. I want to be on the what's called the mammillary process of the lumbar. And so I'm in here now. Perfect. Okay, this is hitting. And I can even hear it in the tone of the sound, so I know I'm doing a good job. So this is percusses 10 to 12 times per second, and it has a pretty, it's pretty strong. But I'm controlling the pressure because I don't want to hit him too hard. So a lot of that is in the application that I'm doing where I don't want to over tap him, but I'm percussing or pounding it from posterior to ventral, which means from back to belly. And I want to come up and do the atlas again here.
Yeah.
All right, 1 second.
I got it.
It's okay, right there. I got it. Got it. All right, cool. So let's get them up now. That part's done. And because the floors are really slippery, let's keep them on this mat. Mm-hmm. And you guys can walk around a little bit. Just don't use a ball because that makes him overexcited. So you can see the back knuckle is still knuckled down. Even the left side is too. So we haven't miraculously changed anything right this moment. You're going to have to let us know how he does. Of course. So he's double knuckled down sometimes. But you're going to have to see the changes. I'd be very careful not to have him off leash because we don't want him running and hurting himself. Yeah. Because in his excitement, he still loves balls and he loves playing. Until he heals, if he can heal. Of course. We don't want him in his enthusiasm to really hurt himself even more.
Is there anything I can do in the meantime?
Yeah, well, you already have a good body sense. I think you can keep massaging him.
Yeah.
Did you see the course that I put out called How to Massage Your Dog.com?
I've seen it, but
but there's a 3.5-hour course with a lot of technique. But you could either get that course and follow some of it, or you could also just make it up on your own. But work these hips. Work where you saw me working. Work into the glutes, into the pelvis. Massage his legs. Not too strong, like about this pressure. Okay?
Got it.
You don't have to kill him. He's a little guy compared to us.
Of course.
So thank you, everybody. Leave a comment for Diesel. He's a lovely dog. Thanks for letting me work with you today. What do you think of all this? Okay, come back maybe sometime and see me. I usually tell people with this situation, if they're interested in this type of work, to maybe come in a week or 2 weeks and do a follow-up. But that's going to be up to you guys, okay?
Of course.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. He's an American Pitbull. He's around 13, 14 years old. From the very early stages, he just started weirdly glitching his leg. He would just glitch as he's walking. Mm-hmm. The weird part about it, when I showed him in a ball or he was excited about something, he would